I'm really tempted to jump in right now. And of course, the highlight is this sunken in stone bathtub. And if you just take a look at the ceiling height. Hi guys, come with me as we explore this incredible 400 square meter neotropical villa in the heart of Bali. Let's go. Now, let's go and explore this incredible home. So, as you can see, as soon as you enter, you just have this incredible expansion of space that spans into both sides as well as to the front. Over here is where the real gem is hiding. I will show you that in a minute. If you don't know who I am, my name is Jane, and you're watching Interior Insights. And over here, we're already entering both the kitchen as well as the dining room area. Now, this home was built by the Biombo Architects, who are just masters at creating this neotropical design. And if you just take a look at the ceiling height, we just have this really almost like inside jungle within the jungle of Bali. Over here, we have both the kitchen area as well as the dining table area. And you can see that the entire design is made from a lot of natural materials. The floor is this grayish, whitish concrete that just acts as the perfect base. And then on top of it, we have a wooden oval table, as well as these really gorgeous chairs. And while you're having your dinner here or your breakfast, you can just overlook this really long, angular pool. And now, as soon as you enter this home, you can really see that the pool is one of the focal points of the entire design, because it just adds this touch of color. And you always feel like there's something moving, the water is making sounds, so you are just really immersed within all of the different elements while you are in this home. Because the pool is over 25 meters long, you can actually really get your swimming goals in. And if you want to cook something for yourself, over here we have a large kitchen with a kitchen island. And what I think you can see really well from this house is the fact that the owners really love to host their friends and to entertain, because everything here has a super large scale and just really invites people to gather around whatever you're doing. Now, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, go and subscribe right now, because we show you the best home tours out there. I promise you that. And if you want more behind the scenes content, also check out our Instagram. Come with me and let me show you the other parts of the house. So over here we have our sofa area. And it is actually a sunken sofa pit, which is really cool. I usually don't really like it when you have too many different levels in a house, because it can just be a bit too complicated. And it has this very circular design. And this is just, again, something that just really shows you how connected the architect is to the nature around it. And comment below what your favorite part of this design is. I think mine definitely is the fact that we have just all of these plants integrated. For example, here in front of me, we have a palm tree that is just growing outside of the ground. And it just makes it look super cool, and you can just really see that the architecture and the nature of the surroundings have just really become one. Now, let me show you the tanning area of the space. Because the space is mostly under this really large roof that just kind of seems to hug you. On both ends of the villa, the roof kind of ends, and you have your little suntanning station where you're also really exposed to nature. So when it rains, you just have all of the rain coming down. Right now it's the rainy season on Bali, and I think that this is really cool whenever you actually live in a place and you actually are like in constant touch with the surroundings. So over here we have 2 sunbeds, over there we have 2 more sunbeds. And now let me show you another really cool thing about this home, and that is that we actually have stairs over here that go directly into the pool. Now, you might be wondering, how am I supposed to get to those stairs? And I will show you that in a second. But first, let me show you the 3 ensuite bedrooms. Come with me. Now, one of the things that I think is most important when it comes to design and architecture is that you really need to think about these like visual axes and like the pathways that the people will actually walk through when they actually use the space and live in the space. And this is also what the architects did really well. So when you enter the home, you are just directly looking at this really cool bridge that leads you to the bedrooms, and then you can also see this really super large door, and it just creates this very grand and majestic first impression. And now let me show you the 3 bedrooms. So we actually have to go over this bridge. And then here we have the different bedrooms. So there's 2 basically like merged twin bedrooms to both sides over here for your guests. But first, let me show you the ensuite, which is all the way over here. And just by these small architectural details, you can really see the appreciation and attention to detail of the design, and I really love it. Come in. Now, this is the ensuite bedroom, and as soon as you enter this bedroom, you see that it is one of a kind because we don't have our regular square bedroom, but instead we have this very triangular asymmetrical shape. Over here we have the bed. It has quite a low profile, and you can see that we have this more custom bed frame. And I love the fact that the bed is actually standing basically like tilted towards the entry because it just creates this very strong tension within the design. Next to the bed we have this like sofa seating area just to make it a little bit more cozy because the space is so large and everything is so big. You can see darker geometric tiles have been used just to create the sense of like intimacy because darker colors just kind of sometimes seem to hug you. Wherever you are in this home, you just really feel the presence of the roof. And this is just something that is really unique. So even as I'm standing here, we are basically at the end of the roof, and this is why the tilt just keeps going down and also the ceiling height keeps getting lower. Surrounding this ensuite, we have a large concrete wall that is basically adding privacy, but to make it more interesting, we have all of these incredible green plants. And because the light is shining in, it just really illuminates them, and you almost feel like you're living in the jungle or that you're looking at a gallery of art and not just of leaves. And of course, the highlight is this sunken in circular stone bathtub. And I think it works really well because it is actually like sunken into the floor. So you can just take a few steps and just sit inside it. And it also really acts as a focal point in the design. And just because we have so much ceiling height, all of the closets are also incredibly tall, and then they are just visually elongated even further just to create this like natural seamless extension of the space, and it just makes the ceilings feel even higher. Just like we have this door, is that the door goes like up 2/3, but then the wooden structure basically just extends even further. Now here's another star of the show, and that is that over here we have our kitchen vanity with 2 irregular half circles as mirrors, and they've been illuminated with indirect light from behind, and it just creates this very magical light. And when you're looking at yourself, you actually have all of these incredible jungle leaves behind you. And over here we actually have an indoor-outdoor shower, so let's go and take a look. So through this door, when you need to take a shower, you actually go outside. And then here you have your shower. Here you just have a really close look at these gigantic, I don't know, they look like mozzarella leaves, but they might be something else. And then over here is where you actually have your shower and all of your like body lotions and shower gel, and it is just such a unique design. And because the walls are fully glassed, you just still have this like inside-outside connection. Of course, there's also a proper small bathroom with a toilet over here, so you have everything you need. And now let's go take a look at those 2 symmetrical twin bedrooms. Now, even though these 2 bedrooms over here have perfect symmetrical and almost identical entries, they actually differ quite a bit. So let's go take a look at the first one. They are sliding doors so that you don't have all of these like doors in the way. Come with me. So This is the first bedroom, and it is just one Scandinavian heaven because you have all of these really raw, neutral materials layered on top of each other, and we have all of these different textures of the wooden floor, of the wooden bed, these like linen bed sheets, and also these two really cool lamps. I think their shape is actually inspired by these lollipop lamps by hay. But they are actually made from hay, and this is just also a really cool reference to Bali because here there's like a very traditional building techniques of creating these roofs from hay, and it is called a langalang, and this is just a very nice visual reference to the cultural and architectural heritage that we have. You can see that this bedroom is really generous, and instead of having a vivid color story, we have all of these materials. I also really like the fact that the back wall isn't just a regular white wall, but that it has all of this like irregularities and all of this like textural depth, and it just creates a much more interesting design. Over here we have another wardrobe, and then through here we can come to our bathroom. And this is also really interesting because here we actually have a floating stone vanity. We have two small sinks that are integrated, and they're just seamlessly sunken into it. And so one of you guys actually recently mentioned in a comment and asked me if I've seen this, and I think I mentioned I saw it in Bali. Here we see it again, only it's not just concrete, but it's actually terrazzo, but it looks really cool and very sleek and just super modern. And another architectural detail that I love is this really tall, very slim mirror. And I think it looks so cool because it just has this very unique dimension. So it is really tall, but very slim. And it actually, the mirror works from both sides. So here I have a full-on full body mirror. And here, while I'm washing my hands or making myself ready for another video, I can use it from this side. I think this is really cool. And now let me show you the highlight of this bedroom. It hides behind this door. Maybe you can already guess it. So this basically explains the stair situation for you, and it is super cool. So this means that you can just wake up in the morning and just walk down the stairs and just jump or walk right into your swimming pool. I'm really tempted to jump in right now, but I'm not going to because otherwise we couldn't finish this tour, so let's continue. Now let me show you the second bedroom. I actually expected both of these bedrooms to be quite identical, but they actually are quite different, and this is just great attention to detail. So here we have the second bedroom, and while you can see some consistent design decisions like this textured white backdrop, you still have a bit of a different layout and some different materials. I also really like these lamps. You know I love lamps because they remind me of these like delicate little lanterns, but they're covered in linen, so it looks really cool. And then over here is actually where we have a full-on really large wardrobe. And then here again we have the same situation that we have in the other living room. And then over here is where the bathroom is hiding. And this bathroom also has an outdoor shower with a little outdoor jungle, and other than that, the bathroom just has this very long and narrow design. We have two large sinks that are integrated into this large slab of marble with two really high, slim and high mirrors. So you can really see that the architects just have this very consistent design language, and I love it. Comment below if you noticed and if you like the design language or not. I'd love to know. I hope you enjoyed this home tour. Definitely make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet, because we show you the best home tours in the world. And I'll see you in the next video.